So just a little update on Deadly Education. I am now 19/18 pages through it and I'm finding it a lot at the moment. It's really hard to digest and to read because it feels so info dumpy and it just feels so overwhelming. We're learning about the world and the magic system and the school and everything that intertwines and makes this book, but I just don't like the way in which it's been done or dealt with, or the way it's being presented. It's just not my cup of tea, and I'm finding it really hard to get through because my mind just keeps wandering, and I obviously really want to focus on this book and get through it, but I'm like, how long do I have to push through until I completely understand everything if my mind is already wandering? Yeah, I just feel like our narrator is just going off on lots of different tangents. I didn't even remember what we were doing in the beginning to go off on all these tangents, and then we loop back around to what we were actually doing, what we were actually facing in the current now situation. And I feel like that's the way the author is trying to build up this scene and this world, and that's just not my preferred style of understanding a world. I want to experience it rather than kind of just be told and talked at through a load of tangents that kind of don't really have anything to do with the main purpose of what we're doing right now. So yeah, those are my thoughts so far. I am gonna keep going through it. Maybe I'll try and get to at least the 50-page mark. If I can, preferably the 100-page mark. But yeah, it's really hard to digest and understand at the moment. But I'm really hoping that that changes. So I'll get back to it and then I'll keep you updated. So I'm now 80 pages through A Deadly Education and I'm enjoying it a little bit better. I think maybe I'm adapting to the writing style more, but I still don't understand a single thing of what's going on apart from our main character has a really hopeful relationship with the other main character, and I can't for the life of me figure out why. I think it's supposed to be like a rivals to lovers sort of situation, but again, I don't really know. And I didn't really want to go into much more detail than that because I don't want to make any spoilers, because all of my vlogs I try to be as spoiler free as possible. But yeah, I am enjoying it so far. I think I'm adapting to the writing style a bit more. I'm not loving it. I think it's just okay. It's nothing memorable. I feel like I might struggle tomorrow when I pick it back up to know exactly what has happened, and who the characters are and what the magic is, etc, etc. But I'm gonna put it down for the time being tonight because I don't want to push myself to try and read it and try and get it through my brain when it's just not working. So I'm gonna put it down for the evening and do something else, and then pick it back up in the morning, and hopefully I'll start enjoying it a bit more. Perhaps it's just I need to get used to the writing style. I'm not exactly sure, but we will see tomorrow. But I just wanted to give you an update. Now I've hit a 83-page mark because that's sort of a little bit in between 50 and 100 pages, as I said I was going to get to. So I'll keep you updated tomorrow. Pages into Deadly Education, and I think I'm going to put it down for the time being and try and pick up one of the other books, because the chapters are so long and there's just so much telling and not showing, and I'm just almost waiting for the dialogue parts to kick in, and it just feels as though I'm waiting forever because of the length of the chapters. I feel like if this was shorter chapters, I would be more inclined to carry on reading it, but it just feels like such a drag because I'm having to wait for the dialogue to kick in, try and comprehend all of the descriptions and the 1001 tangents in one chapter, and it's just a bit too much. So I'm gonna put it down for the time being. It looks like I'm basically halfway through, so I suppose that's good progress. At the moment it's only like a 2-star, perhaps. Yeah, I think it's a 2-star based on the relationship. I'm really enjoying the characters' relationship, main character's relationship more so now. I still don't really know who half of the characters are in terms of the side characters. So yeah, I'm going to put this one down and then I'm going to pick out one of the other ones. So I'll keep you updated once I make my choice. But yes, I'm quite sad. Hey friends, so it's now 2 p.m. on Sunday and this video is supposed to be going up tomorrow, but I haven't been feeling well the past couple of days. So I'm a little bit bedridden, so I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon reading. I wanted to come in and give a little bit of an update. I'm still making my way through the maidens, and as per my previous clip, I have now DNF'd the Deadly Education, which is making me feel a lot better. I'm not feeling very motivated to read, but I think the issue that I'm currently facing at the moment is when I don't read for a period of time, I just almost become resistant to it, even though I want to read. If it's not built into my routine, then it just doesn't happen and I don't have the desire to do it. So I'm going to spend and dedicate this afternoon just to sitting down, taking it easy and reading with my chamomile tea, in hopes that I can start to feel a little bit better. So I'm going to continue reading with the maidens, give you an update once I have one, in terms of how I'm liking it and how I'm finding it, etc, etc. But yeah, that's my little update as to what's going on, so let's get to reading. I'm gonna do a tea tasting for one of the teas that I just made that I was kindly gifted from Chapters. So I'm gonna do a tea tasting session with you now. This is my first time trying it, so let's see how it goes. It's still a little hot, but I'm getting really floral notes, but in a really yummy way. Like, I feel like when you think of the smell of flowers, the thought of tasting that seems a bit repulsive, but this feels like you are tasting flowers in a creamier way, in which is really hard to explain, but it's almost like the scent is in your mouth, but it's not overpowering, it's just light but a little creamy at the same time. It's a little bit hot, so I don't know if that's dampening the taste of it or the strength of it, and I didn't leave it to brew for that long because I wasn't quite sure how strong of a tea this was, but I really like it so far. I think I'm enjoying it. Oh, it just tastes so comforting. It just really tastes like you're sat in a meadow and you're just sipping the tea, and the whole atmosphere just fits with the tea. Wow, I've never tasted anything like this before. I've never had these combinations in a cup of tea before either, so perhaps that's why, but I'm really enjoying it and I do recommend this one. Yeah, no, I'm sold now. I think this is like my fourth or fifth sip, but no, I do really love it. I do really love it. So now I've given you a tea update in which I've now drunk like almost half my cup just after that clip. I thought I'd give you a reading update. So I'm still making my way through The Maidens. I'm 38 pages through now, and we're starting to get background information and understanding the characters a bit more despite only being 38 pages in. I feel like I'm very immersed in the world. I'm reading at a really slow pace and really slow compared to usual. That is nothing against the book, that is just how I'm doing personally at the moment. I'm just picking things up, putting it down, not having attention span, not having the concentration, but I'm still really enjoying this book when I am getting immersed into it, and I do have the mental headspace to get immersed into it, where we've just been introduced to a new character, so I'm intrigued to see how they fit into this all. Like I say, we got a bit of background information on both almost the setting and then the characters as well, in which is really interesting and kind of a bit ominous because I'm wondering how that all fits in with the plot too. But yeah, I am enjoying it so far. I wanted to give a little update despite only being a handful of pages ahead of what I was in before. So yeah, I'm gonna carry on reading and then I'll update you once I have further updates. This is really good. It's bringing me so much peace and calm. Oh, I really enjoy it. Hey friends, so for you it may not seem like it, but for me this vlog has been so mishmashy. It's been all over the place. I've just had a wild ride these past few weeks and this vlog has been going on for a couple of weeks now. It's now August 4th and I started this like I think middle of July, so it's been quite a while and I just haven't had time to dedicate to reading because I did finish this vlog as soon as I ended my last one. So you would have seen my announcement that I did in fact get a new position and a new job, but that obviously entails a lot of change and I need to finish up and train at my old job and then obviously get everything prepared to start my new job, and I do have a holiday in between these bits as well, so I've been preparing for that too. 2
audiobook since my last reading vlog, so I have been getting reads done and I'm in the middle of a handful of audiobooks, because if you knew me and my me reader self, I'm always currently reading a handful, even though every time I try and get it down to just reading one, it always accumulates. But anyway, reading update wise, I'm still making my way through The Maidens. I'm now 189 pages through, so I'm just about halfway, I'd say, and I am really enjoying it. I was reading it last night before bed and I was so gripped. I find the chapters being short are definitely aiding my ability to want to read it more and progress more through it, and it's definitely picking up and getting more interesting now. It's just a whole sense of mystery and I just can't figure it out. Usually I'm quite good at figuring things out, I'd like to say, but on this one I just can't seem to get a handle on it, and which is really exciting because I want to know what's going on. There are just so many plot points that have their own plot sort of within it, but then they're like leading off different directions but then all mushing back together. And yeah, so I'm gonna continue reading it today, continue reading it this morning, hopefully make some good progress, and then hopefully this weekend I can make progress through the other 2 books I have left to read, and then I can get this vlog up for you on Monday, because I do try and upload weekly, but as I said, this has been a bit of a hectic time, so I'm really hoping that going forward, once I have everything sorted personal life wise, then I can just really focus on reading and getting these videos up, etc, because they bring me immense joy. So rambling aside, let's get back to reading, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update. Hi friends, I wanted to give you an update because I finished The Maidens and I'm rating it 4 stars. This had themes of Greek tragedy, toxic love and obsession, family, an old English school, and professors, and murder mystery, and so many plot twists. It was such a page turner. We got to the very end of it, in which was just so phenomenal. I didn't guess what the ending was whatsoever. It was such a huge plot twist, and the writing in this was just so beautifully crafted because there were just so many potential ways that this could have gone, and I was always second guessing myself, constantly wondering what was going to happen next, and it really makes your mind work in the best possible way. The ending is so ambiguous and I'm not sure if I really like it, to be honest, because I really want to know what happens next, but I'm both pleased and just absolutely distraught on how it ended. So I just highly recommend it to you if any of that sounds interesting. I very much enjoyed it. So now I'm going to pick up Ace of Spades as my next read, and I'll keep you updated once I make my way through that one, but I just wanted to give you my little review and update on The Maidens. just wanted to update you because I finished Ace of Spades and I loved it so much. It's 4.5 out of 5 stars from me. It covered so many trigger warnings, so I heavily recommend you look those up before you dive into this book. But it was so powerful, such a page turner, so gripping and immersive, and I just couldn't believe the world that was unraveling around me. I adored the characters and the dual point of view. That was such an interesting concept, and taking these two characters in which have never spoken to each other before, it also discussed not only racism and institutional racism and bringing that down and gaining power within your own right, but it also discussed like society and how that is depicted within different races, and it was just such a emotional, moving book, and I just couldn't recommend it highly enough. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. So now I'm going to move on to the final book in which is in this reading vlog, and that is the Atlas 6. I'm quite excited for this one because I know it is quite a popular one, but I'm always wary of popular reads because I'm really scared they're not going to live up to the hype, and I don't really want to go into it with too much expectation, and I don't really have that much knowledge around it. I don't tend to want to know much about my books before diving into them, so that's how I've tried to keep this one. So yes, I'm going to venture into this one, keep you updated as I do so, and let you know my thoughts. So let's get to reading. I am now 29 pages into the Atlas 6, and I didn't realise that it was multiple point of view, and usually I don't really like that writing style and that narrative. I just find it really jumpy, and I get really used to someone's way of thinking and someone's way of describing things, and then it jumps to the next. And I know for most people that intrigues them more, but for me it kind of really pulls me out of the story. It makes me more reluctant to read it, which is a shame. I'm gonna carry on reading it, but I am actually going to end this video here because it's now Sunday evening and I want to be able to get this video up for you tomorrow. So I'm sure you'll hear about my thoughts, hopefully if I finish this one shortly, in my next vlog. But yeah, I had a really fun time reading this Dark Academia reading vlog. I loved the concept of it, and I enjoyed the books I did manage to get through and read. Thank you ever so much for joining me on this adventure, friends, and I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you have a wonderful day or night, and until next time, bye.